Boop, 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 beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, go! I'll tell you what, I'm glad there's not proximity chat, or like he could hear me. If he could hear me do that. Oh god, that's funny. Hey, what's up ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you what I call the ultimate possession formation in eFootball 2026. It's a 3-6-1 setup that isn't just about keeping the ball, but about using possession as a weapon to completely control and dismantle your opponent. This is a system where I regularly hit 70% possession, rack up over 200 passes per game, and still create plenty of chances and goals. And the true test, facing the 4-2-3-1. Now I wouldn't say it's the meta, but it is one of the most popular setups for new players, and it's a setup that I personally recommend because it's so compact and stable, and in my opinion it's one of the hardest formations to break down in the entire game. So let's dive in. I'll show you the formation, the tactical philosophy, how it works against the 4-2-3-1, and of course plenty of highlights with Messi, Batistuta and the Orchestrators running the show. Let's start with the setup. I'm running a 3-6-1. At the back, 3 build-up defenders. These guys aren't flashy, they keep it calm, circulate possession, and give me a solid base to build attacks. They will also venture into midfield around the halfway line to also assist in building your attacks as well. These are generally good ball playing defenders, so that is something to take into account when you are building your defense. In midfield, this is the heart of the system. 2 defensive midfield orchestrators side by side. Their job is to dictate tempo, recycle possession, and lure the opponent out of their compact shape. Ahead of them, 2 central midfield orchestrators, positioned slightly wider, sitting in the half spaces. These are the creative link men who constantly find pockets between midfield and defense, just on the outer edge of the penalty box. And on the right hand side, I've got Messi as a prolific winger. He loves to drift inside and combine with the central midfielders and cut through the middle. And on the left, I'm running a cross specialist who hugs the touchline and stretches the defense out wide, dragging their team across the pitch. And up front, one of the deadliest finishers in football history, Batistuta. He's not just a goal scorer here, he's the pivot. He holds up the ball, lays it off, and links the entire system together. This system is built around possession with purpose. The 4 orchestrators, the 2 DMFs, the 2 central midfielders create a constant web of passing options. The DMFs stay deeper and keep the rhythm, whilst the CMFs slip into pockets between the lines. Together, they're always offering safe passes, always making triangles, and if the CMFs are tightly marked, I can bypass them with the ball straight into Batistuta. He holds it up and lays it off first time, and suddenly we've got an angle for a dangerous through ball, a scoop pass over the top, or just to reset and keep the pressure on by passing it to the CMFs who will be in between the midfield and defense. The key is patience. The system isn't about rushing forward, it's about forcing the opponent to chase. Slowly but surely the gaps will appear. Add Messi drifting inside on the right plus the cross specialist pulling the defense wide on the left, and you get the perfect balance of width and central overloads. And that's why I average 70% possession. That's why I can keep the ball for 15 to 20 passes at a time without losing it. It's structured, it's disciplined, and it's suffocating for my opponent. Now the big question, how does this work against the 4-2-3-1? Like I said earlier, I don't think it's the outright meta, but it's definitely one of the most effective formations for new players. Why? Because it's so compact and solid. You've got 2 holding midfielders sitting in front of a back 4, a CMF pressing from behind, wingers tucking back to help. It's a nightmare to break down if you try to force things. And in my opinion, it's the hardest formation in the game to crack. But here's why this 3-6-1 works against it, and many other formations. The 2 DMFs force their double pivot to step out, They can't just sit there because we'll keep recycling possession around them. The CMFs exploit the half spaces where the 4-2-3-1 doesn't naturally have cover. They're not picked up by the DMFs and they're too central for the fullbacks. Messi and the cross specialists keep their fullbacks pinned, which stretches the back line. And if everything's blocked, I go straight into Batistuta. He absorbs the pressure, lays it off to either of the CMFs, and suddenly their shape is broken. This system doesn't panic against the 4-2-3-1. It patiently pulls it apart. Let's just take a look at this sequence here. This is against Legend AI difficulty, playing the 4-2-3-1. So we're moving our build-up style defenders up the field, as you can see there. There's the two orchestrators into the central midfield orchestrator. Back to the defender. That's what I said. They're going to come up to the halfway line, and then what we're going to do is just switch it side to side or look for those passes in between the lines just to push the ball forward. But it's very patient. Here's my other centre back into my CMF orchestrator. There's a lot of passes being moved around here, and what we're doing is we're waiting for this Messi to cut in off that flank and then Batistuta to head home. Here's a longer sequence. Count the passes. 1, 2, 3, 15 passes in a row without the opponent touching it. Their CMF are chasing shadows. The DMFs pulled out, and when that space finally opens, Batistuta is the link. Layoff, through ball, just goals galore. This is why the possession stats are so crazy. I'm not spamming pointless passes. I'm building the attack layer by layer, waiting for the exact moment to strike. And when it clicks, it's beautiful football. I must credit my opponent for playing the whole match and not quitting and not giving up. But by the end, he just simply put his pad down, because I could just tell he was getting visibly frustrated by the amount of possession I was having. In this sequence of play, I keep the ball for a whole 10 in-game minutes. That's absolutely insane. Against Legend AI, against the 4-2-3-1, that is absolutely unheard of. It's so difficult. Normally it's so difficult, but you can see here just how easy it is. The players just sitting exactly where you want them. Those two CMF orchestrators sitting in the half spaces. You see here Pedri picking it up. Then you've got the defensive midfield orchestrators just sitting in here alongside them, the sort of wider build-up style defenders just offering support. And at the end of the day, you create these free-flowing moves that just slice through your opposition at will. You know, you can keep it for as long as you want, and then when you want to, you can then increase the tempo in and around the penalty box, which is what I would probably recommend. You probably noticed, certainly in the earlier clips, you would see me, you know, increase the speed that I was passing. Here I slow it right down, but eventually as I get close to the penalty box, I do tend to speed it up. That can lead to mistakes, but it can obviously lead to these chances that you're seeing here. From a defensive point of view, I never felt like I was in danger. I feel like the line across the midfield did a good job of absorbing most of the pressure and winning the ball back pretty swiftly. And opponents online would then try to go long, but then you just need to use Super Cancel, which I'm going to bring a tutorial out very soon, and just basically scoop up any balls over the top relatively easily, because generally a lot of people have like sort of small quick strikers looking to spin in behind. But you know, I also came up against a player with Giroud, but that's fine because, you know, with the high defensive line of the possession style, he's not exactly gonna, you know, outrun you anytime soon. So you have all these things to sort of consider, but I never felt like I was under threat at any point during any of the matches. So that is the ultimate possession formation in eFootball 2026. The 3-6-1 gives you balance, patience, and creativity all in one. You've got the stability at the back, orchestrators running the midfield, Messi and the cross specialist providing width, and Batistuta as the perfect pivot. Against the 4-2-3-1, which I think is the hardest formation to break down in the game, this setup shines. It doesn't force things, it doesn't panic, it just slowly takes control until your opponent cracks. If you're looking to dominate matches with style, give this a try. Be patient, trust the orchestrators, and remember, possession is your weapon. I'll be posting more tactical breakdowns and guides soon, so if you enjoyed this, please hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, how do you break down the 4-2-3-1? Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.